What is going on, guys? EK1 Gaming here, and welcome back to a Diablo 4 video. In today's video, we're going to be showing you the best settings to maximize your FPS as well as your visual performance on Diablo 4. This is going to make the game look a lot better, and it's also going to feel better when you're playing it, meaning less stuttering and less lost frames. Now, this guide specifically is going to be for PC. Some of these settings will be on console as well. I will do a dedicated console video, so just keep tuned for that. Hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell, and you will receive a notification when that video comes out. If you are looking to join any kind of looking for group or just to meet people for Diablo 4 carries, then go ahead and join our Discord server. It's getting pretty active now, which is good, and we're just trying to grow that community over at Discord, so go ahead and follow the link in the description below. So today we're going to be going over some graphic settings and, of course, some gameplay settings. So we're going to start off with graphics. And for the graphics for the display, you're going to want that windowed full screen. So you can click on that. For the adapter, you're going to want to select whatever graphics card you're using. I'm using a 3080 Ti. So we're just going to select that one. Whichever monitor you want it to appear. So this, if you've got multiple monitors, this is going to show up different monitors. So whichever one you want the game to appear on. Now, resolution is really important. I would always have that as the resolution of your monitor. So it should always be your monitor resolution, nothing below. Font scale, it doesn't matter. And cursor scale, that's completely up to you. You can make it bigger or smaller. It's completely up to you. High contrast cursor, I turn that off because I don't want it. If you see it glows up a little bit, I'm happy with it the way it is. But if you're struggling to see it, turn the high contrast cursor on. And then, of course, you can cursor color picker as well. So select the color that you want it to have a tint of in the game. I always have HDR off, even though my monitor won't do HDR anyway. Even if it did, I would not use HDR. I feel like the colors and stuff are better without HDR on. VSync or vertical sync, this should be off. Always in every game you play, turn VSync off. That's all I've got to say about that. Limit the cutscene frames per second. I put this on yes because when we're in cutscenes, we don't want them frames to be really high unless you're really watching it for a cutscene, which there's not that many in here if you think about it. But yeah, just limit it so it limits it to 30 frames per second so you're not using up all of your VRAM on that. Peripheral lighting, it doesn't really matter. This is the lighting on your keyboard, on your mouse. You can turn it off, on. It doesn't really matter at all. Now, your brightness, ensure you calibrate your brightness. So mine, if I have mine a little bit darker normally, so you can still kind of see this, I just set it just a tad darker than normal because I want to get these images here. So like the menus, the options menu, the inventory menu, you want that darker in the background. And then you can really see the things that are on it, sort of the different colors popping on there. So make sure you calibrate your brightness first. Colorblind filter, this is not relevant for me because I am not colorblind. Or if you do need it though, it has the options right there. So if you want to put that on, sometimes it can help you see a little bit better, different colors, and it just changes it for you. View distance, I have this far. Really? It doesn't matter, but I prefer far. It's not going to affect the camera in town or while mounted, but basically just the camera view distance. I just prefer to have that a little bit further. So that's a personal preference for you guys as well. Now getting into the actual performance. So resolution scaling. You're going to want to have this on NVIDIA DLSS Super Resolution. So this boosts the frame rates and it renders fewer pixels. And then it uses AI to output high resolution frames. So basically, you have to have an NVIDIA GeForce graphics card to use this. If you don't use this one, you can use one of the AMD FSR. So I would go FSR 2 for an AMD graphics card. But I have an NVIDIA, so I will be using the Super Resolution. Quality mode. Now, this is a big one because people always say, oh, just put it on performance or ultra performance. It's going to be great. But it's not. So ultra performance here, as you can see in the writing on the right, it offers the highest performance boost recommended for 8K gameplay. I don't know anybody that's playing in 8K. If you are playing in 8K, put a comment in the section below. I really want to talk to you because I want to see what 8K gameplay looks like. I don't even think I'll be able to see it because I don't have an 8K monitor. So 8K really is overkill. Performance, it's boosting it a little bit, but I found balanced to be the best for game look and FPS. Now, this game is not demanding on FPS. I get that. It's not a multiplayer, you know, Call of Duty game where every FPS count, or every frame per second counts. You really want to get there quick. But balanced, I feel like, just gives it that good mixture. It doesn't stutter much. It has that smooth gameplay, as well as the look of the game is absolutely fantastic. Sharpen image, I just leave this at 10. I don't change this at all. I haven't even tried messing around with this, so to be honest with you, I would just leave it set at 10. Frame generation, this is automatic if you pick the DLSS, so it automatically does this. It scales the mode. It's basically scaling resolution, and it's AI that renders additional frames. So it's pretty much just always on that one. NVIDIA Reflex low latency. Yes, put that on. Basically, it optimizes the system so it takes off any latency and puts your PC more responsive when you've got this on. If you have got the DLSS on, it will automatically activate this or enable this. Foreground frames per second, so put this as high as you can put it. I put it at 400. I don't have a 400 FPS monitor or 400 Hz monitor. My monitor's only 165, but I'll stick it on the highest, whatever it goes to. And then with the background FPS, this is if I'm tabbed out of the game. For example, you know, I tab out now and you guys, I don't know, I'm doing something else. I'm doing a thumbnail or something else. You don't want the frames per second to be really high when you're tabbed out. I set it to about 8, so you can still see it sort of on OBS or wherever you are. You can even put that at 30 if you wanted to, but you definitely don't need that any high because you're not actually looking at the game. If you are streaming and you want, when you're tabbed out, if you want everyone still to see the actual game how it should be, then by all means put it high. Even when I stream, though, I still leave it at 8 because I don't really tab out that much on stream, and a lot of people have multi-monitors as well. Now, quality preset. So this is going to be the quality of the game, so what it looks like, how it feels, and stuff like that. Put it on custom. Texture quality. Well, I put it on ultra because I just really like the look of ultra. I think from low and medium to ultra is a big difference. You could go high. I don't have a 4K monitor. I have a 1440. So I would say on here, it says medium suitable for playing up to 1080. So if you're using 1080, whack it to medium if you want to. But for me, I always have that one on ultra. Anisotropic filtering 16 times. It doesn't make any difference. Like, if I'm being honest, I can't really see a difference in anything when I change this. So just leave it at 16. Shader quality high. This is visual effects, trees, stuff like that, snow, ice. I like to have that effect in the game because there is a lot of ice, there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of all different things like that. So I would definitely put that on high. Geometric complexity, put that on low. It really didn't make any difference no matter what I put it on. Not noticeable to the eye anyway, I will say. Terrain, again, low. I didn't see much difference in any high or low there. So just leave that on low. If anything, it's just going to bring down the power that this game's generating from your graphics card. So it's just going to make it a little bit easier if you put it on low. Clutter is really up to you on this one, but I put medium. You know, we want clutter items are placed within medium density. So you don't really want high. You don't really want shadows on the clutter around, so like foliage and stuff like that. You don't really need shadows. It's not going to affect your gameplay in any way. In fact, you can probably put this on low, but medium is a good point there. Fog quality, yeah, put it on low. I didn't see any difference at all. Fur quality, again, there's no difference here. But apart from if you're sort of, you know, playing Druid or something like that and you've got fur or anything along there, you'll see a difference. I leave it as high because it didn't affect any kind of game. It didn't affect the FPS or the visuals or anything like that. So I just leave it on high just to have it. If I'm playing Druid, it looks a little bit crisper. But really, you can put that off if you want to. Reflection quality, low. I don't care about reflections in this game. I really don't. I'm just looking at the main image rather than what's reflecting. Screen space reflections, I turn that off. Now, I really don't see anything different when I click this on and off. So I'll just have it off and it can improve your performance. It even says on the sidebar there. Anti-aliasing quality, I've got that on low. Number of samples drawn for it. So just put that on low. Again, I didn't see any difference. And same with the ambient occlusion. I have that on low. I did not see any kind of change in anything. In fact, it sort of the FPS risen or went up as I put this lower, so just put it on low. Shadow quality I have to high. Again, this is the high dynamic resolution, high resolution dynamic shadow, sorry, for the scenes. I put it on high because, again, it didn't affect my gameplay when I had it on high. I don't really want it on ultra because otherwise you just go through and put everything on ultra, but for me, high was a very good point. Contact shadows quality, low. I really don't need shadows on players or shadows on characters and stuff like that. Don't really care. It's not that kind of game where I'd need that shadow. Particle quality, high. These are particles. When you do certain skills and stuff, you'll see like little flares of particles like fly off the skills and different things, especially with like Necro, or you'll see it more on a sorcerer with the flames and stuff. Like you see little flame particles. So I like to see that, so I put that on high. Water simulation quality, low. Really, do we go through that much water? No. Do we really care about that look? No. So I always just put that on low. Physics quality, again, low. It just be fewer corpses, debris, cloth, you know, all that crap. Really don't need that clogging up my screen. Distortion I have off. So this controls whether screen space distortion is applied. Basically disabling it improves your performance. So we want just to have more FPS or more performance of the game. Chromatic aberration, turn it off. Just literally turn it off. Do not have that on. It's going to be better to have it off visually and performance-wise. Low effects, turn it off unless you're using a low-end PC, and you're probably going to want to put this on. It's just going to help you, you know, less drive or less power coming out of your PC to perform the tasks of the game. So for me, a 3080, I'm not too bad. I can my PC's like medium, I suppose, in terms of level of PC. So I don't have low effects on. Ray tracing off, and ray tracing off. That's all I can say about that. Leave it off. So gameplay here. I turn a few of these off, and this is just visual things for me because I don't like some of these options. So if we're looking at gameplay, screen shake effect, I turn that off because it just makes me feel sick if it's like shaking the screen all the time. It's a bit like that kind of motion blur as well. I don't like that kind of thing in games. Combat hit flash, I have that on. Although I don't really see many flashes in the game, it's still on. But I don't mind that. Strobing, I definitely turn off because I don't want it strobing. Again, it's just uncomfortable for my eyes. But these are all personal preference here. Highlight the player when obscured, yes, because I can see where your player is if you're behind something or whatever it may be. Show all tutorials, you can actually turn that off if you know how to use the game or know how to play the game. Error notifications, yeah, I mean, I don't really have them on. If you've got no fury and you press the button, it pretty much won't do anything, so you don't really need to be told that on on the screen, so I just have that off. Advanced tooltip compare, I just leave these two on. Lock the cursor, no, I don't do that, so I can go off the screen. If I had a second monitor, I probably would lock the cursor to this monitor so it doesn't go off. But for me, I don't really have one, so it's fine. The HUD configuration is up to you. So basically, left corner centered. I have mine centered, so the bar appears at the bottom of the screen right there. You can have it so it all appears to the left. It's completely up to you. I suppose, again, if you're streaming and you've got your camera somewhere, like on the left, you're going to want that in the center. And likewise, there's only two places you can have it. It doesn't really make that much of a difference to the game at all. Item label duration on drop. So I just put this to 10. Display, push to show for 10 seconds. It's literally, you know, there's nothing. It's really personal preference on this one here. Skill toggle behavior, hold all. Just leave that on. Again, it's up to you. It's up to you on that one. Action wheel activation, I toggle that on and off, so I have to hold it down. So I'll just click it on, click it off on here. On Xbox, I have it on hold, so I hold it down and then move the analog stick to do it. Hold position mode, and I've put that on hold. Display your own health, you can have that on or off, it's up to you. I just have it off because I don't want it above my character's head. Resource, again, I don't want that above my character's head. Their health bars, so the summon health bars, creatures that you summon, do you want the health bar up there? Yeah, I have that so I can see what they've got left. Monster health bar option, hover only, I have that on. So I don't really care about seeing too much of those things behind or above people's heads. So hide pin paths for party members. If you don't want them to see where you're pinning, hide it, but it makes sense to have this unchecked so you can actually show them where you're talking about, if you're talking about a boss or whatever it may be. Now for the combat text options. For me, I pick my own here. So show combat text. Yes. And then I go for take off normal damage. I don't want to see them white numbers. Critical damage. Yeah, I keep that on. And I also keep overpower damage on. If you're trying to just look for certain damage, so say you're the Necro Blood Wave and you just want to see what overpower damage, turn everything else off and you'll only see those numbers. Crit damage to me, I like to see what I'm critting for and also see what my overpower damage is. I have all of the rest of this turned off, so I really don't want all those numbers so you can't read what DPS you're doing. Display player highlights, I don't have that on, but this is good if you struggle to see your character as you're running around. You can pick what color you see. It's like a line around your character, so I have that turned off. Character visibility, I have additional highlight, 50%, but I don't have a color, so I don't really care about that at all. Again, I can see my character fine. I don't need to have a thing around the edge of my character showing me where he is, so... auto pin new quests, yeah, I have that on. Hood compass, I have that off. Arrows, no. Arrow color, I don't care about. And then audio navigation assistance, I have that switched off as well. I don't really... that's more personal preference for you guys if you want to have that, you know, sound telling you where to go or sound telling you what you press, etc. Now, that is the end of the settings. I know I've run through them very quickly for you, but change the settings up. You can always change them back if you don't like them, but please let me know in the comment section below if there's anything that you've seen improving while you've had these settings on, because I have seen a huge improvement from my gameplay. And of course, when I'm doing videos, it looks a little bit sharper now. The menus look better, just changing that brightness as well. So let me know in the comment section below if this worked out for you or anything you're doing different that may benefit other people in the community. Don't forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.